Two Palm Beach County gymnastics coaches have been arrested for sex crimes in the last 3 months.
When the Contact 5 investigators looked into the backgrounds of the coaches, we found not all gyms are doing the same thing before hiring. Contact 5 investigators Jared Worksma is here with what you should be asking about the person coaching your kids. Jared?
Well, Michael, the man you see behind me here is Carl Lechner. He is now facing multiple child pornography charges, but because he had decades of experience as an owner of a gym, his most recent employer never ran a background check, which we found is not uncommon.
Gymnasts can achieve enormous strength and skill, but first, there is enormous vulnerability. And the Contact 5 investigators have learned some gyms leave kids more exposed than others.
All right, now I want to start and finish to every skill.
Steve Nuno understands that better than most.
I was the Olympic coach in 92 and 96 with Shannon Miller, America's most decorated gymnast. I've been a gym owner for 30 years. I've worked with thousands of kids.
Nuno bought Epic Gymnastics of Palm Beach in January.
Let's go. Lift it. Lift. Nice one.
Since then, 2 gymnastics coaches have been arrested, including a former Epic employee.
It's just disturbing because it's a black eye on our sport.
Boris Ponce de Leon was arrested this spring, accused of masturbating in public while video recording his neighbor. Then just last week, Carl Lechner was arrested for child pornography, which does not appear to be connected to kids at the gyms he worked.
Were you surprised at all when you heard about the arrest over the weekend?
No, it was a matter of time.
This is a former Cats gymnastics employee, the same gym Lechner worked for until his arrest.
It's a matter of time for that type of person to come in, especially in that company.
The former coach offered proof of employment at Cats, but asked not to be identified for fear of reprisal.
We had people walk in off the street and literally that same day say, okay, you're taking the 3 o'clock class.
The owner of Cats Gymnastics, Terry Howison, refused an on-camera interview, but admits Cats has never run background checks on employees other than what's done by USA Gymnastics for certified coaches, which Lechner was not. Lechner was convicted of trafficking cocaine in 1989 and spent 3 years in prison. He spent the last 20-plus years teaching gymnastics to kids until his arrest for child pornography last week.
Full split now.
We reached out to gymnastics studios in Palm Beach County. Of the 7 that responded, 5 told us they subject all employees to background checks. 2 said they don't, but now plan to.
Does it surprise you that they aren't doing background checks already?
Absolutely.
How important do you think it is to be making sure that you know exactly who you're working with?
Well, I think it's essential. I mean, in our club and any of my clubs over the past 10 years, we've checked every employee.
USA Gymnastics says it uses a private company called the National Center for Safety Initiatives to check the last 7 years for all certified coaches. Epic gave us 2 employee background checks to prove it uses the same service, but pays extra to look back 15 years on all employees.
I think it's really important that we do our due diligence on everyone that's involved with kids.
But no club we spoke with looks back further than 15 years.
All right, now asking every business you trust with your kids about its hiring practices is an important step you can take for their safety. But when it comes to background checks, they can obviously vary greatly. So what you want to do is you want to be sure to ask what company they use, how far back they look, and make sure it looks at state and federal databases, not just local. I'm Jared Worksma, WPTV News Channel 5.